Hey guys, what's going on? It's Dan here. Time for another episode of First Bite. I am starting this video in my office, but I'm going to finish the video in another office. I'm headed to my parents' house. I'm going to do a review with my dad, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm reviewing Island Jerk Shack in Seffner. I did this on my Facebook page a while back. Now I'm doing the YouTube videos as I've explained before, and I'm redoing some of the old videos. So I want to do Island Jerk Shack. I regretted when I did the Island Jerk Shack video before that I did the jerk chicken. Not that it wasn't good, it was amazing. But I felt at the time that I shouldn't do the oxtail because it was a little maybe less common. But maybe I should be doing the less common things. Maybe a lot of people have eaten at the Jerk Shack and got the chicken, but for one reason or another, maybe they were scared to try something new. Maybe they didn't get the oxtail. That's why I should be reviewing it. Also, story time. Are you ready? Maybe we can cue up some classical music or something. Story time. Here we go. Way back in the day in Ohio, before my parental units had ever even thought of conceiving me, they were very self-sufficient in terms of they had a garden, they would try to grow a lot of their own food, they bought beef from local farmers. I think they even had some cows at one point. My dad at one point got the idea in his head that he wanted oxtail soup or oxtail stew for dinner one night. My mom went through the whole process, made the stew. My dad sat down at the table. He wouldn't eat it. He wouldn't eat it. He just had this vision in his head of the little tail swishing back and forth next to the ox's butt. All of the flies coming around, all of the stench coming out of this beast of burden here. He has never eaten oxtail in his life. I'm going to change that today. He's finally going to do it. I'm going to make him do it. That's the end of the story. It's time to go. I'm going to go over there. Well, actually, I'm going to go pick up the food from the Island Jerk Shack, and then I'm going to head over to my parents' house. Dad, I'm coming for you. Be ready. It's time to get over your fear after all these years. Oxtail. We're doing it. Let's go.
Same way, bro.
I always catch the train. Maybe now we can go eat? Maybe? Okay, guys, here we are, back in the office. Looks a little different. It's not my office. I'm at my parents' house. I'm in Dad's office. Not as cool as mine. A little messier than mine. A lot messier than mine. He's got other things to do. Anyway, he didn't want to film it in here. We're going to go out to the kitchen, but I just wanted to go from kind of office to office in my video. Anyway, let's go introduce Dad and eat some oxtail. So in addition to filming the outside of the Island Jerk Shack, right now I'm just doing a voiceover because of the background music so I don't get hit with a YouTube copyright strike. The Island Jerk Shack is located at 1202 West MLK Boulevard in Seffner, Florida, 33584. Okay, we're back. Special guest, Dad. First time he's been in a First Bite video. I'm going to try not to laugh because my brother, Vegan Matt, you guys remember Vegan Matt? That's actually my brother. You probably didn't know that. He's here too. Mom's back there somewhere. Anyway, so the oxtail. You just had this vision in your head and you decided that you didn't want to eat it that day, way back when.
I said, whatever you do, we're not wasting one shred, 1 pound, one anything of this cow.
Well, you worked on a farm in Ann Arbor for a couple years, and you're familiar with the slaughtering process. You know your way around pigs and cows, right. So there's no waste whatsoever. So that was your philosophy, no waste.
There's an old saying, if you're going to slaughter a hog, the only thing you can't use is the oink. So the same I felt should be applied to cows, and I wanted to be really scrupulous about using and utilizing everything that comes out of a garden or everything that comes out of the pasture. So she looked up what to make, and she took the tail and made oxtail soup. Supper time rolled around that night, and she put the soup on the table, and I took a couple spoonfuls And all of a sudden I had memories of this tail swishing back and forth in the pasture and other things that went with the tail. And
were you afraid that the cow had taken a big dump and somehow contaminated it? Like,
no,
did you smell poop when you were trying the soup or about to try the soup?
No, nothing like that. It just seemed like if you're going to eat the cow, if you've ever gone to a butcher shop, you see it's how it's sectioned, front and back. And somehow it just didn't section the back end of a cow. And the thought that this was the back end of the cow just totally turned me off.
He didn't want to eat poop.
No, it had nothing to do with that because it was... Anyway.
Are you nervous about this at all?
No.
No?
Look at it this way. If you...
there's a lot of bones in here, as you know.
As I know.
As you know.
It's
so.
just, well, the tail is nothing more than an extension of the spine.
Yeah.
Just like humans. The only problem is, if you were in the middle of a wilderness and this is all you had, obviously you're not going to complain.
So you're going to go in.
But don't forget, eating oxtail soup and taking it this way is a lot different. And of course,
oh sure,
you can see the meat of the tail intertwined with all these little bones. So let me try it.
This is a professional review right here from a professional butcher. So what do you think? This is your first time in your life trying oxtail. Watch the bones.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Well, it's not bad.
Okay, look at the little duck on the stick over my shoulder. I didn't even notice that while I was filming this video. Leave it to my brother to do something silly.
It's not my favorite slice of meat.
This might not be how you would have prepared it in the Midwest in a more meat and potatoes kind of town and culture. I mean, this is from a Jamaican shack kind of thing. So
most people,
the spices are a little bit different, or might be a little different,
most people
obviously.
that I grew up with among the ethnic communities of Youngstown were not of this caliber. Meat and potatoes, but it was usually one of the chucks of the cow. They say ground chuck or some part of the beef. It was usually a low cut piece of meat. Price-wise.
You think we should do a slaughtering video and have you just walk us through the whole cow?
No.
That would be pretty great, actually.
Actually, I only slaughtered one cow.
Oh, you were a pig guy mostly.
Yes.
Yeah.
However, very similar in nature.
So.
The thing about cows, it seems to be cleaner. But the eating the
cleaner as far as the slaughtering process? Because, I mean, pigs are clean animals. Most people don't realize that. Pigs are very clean. You mean the process is cleaner with the cow?
No, it's all, never mind. If you can imagine
okay.
Slaughter is.
Never mind. I just got what you were talking about.
The point about the parts of the cow.
It's less of a crappy process.
Most people
go through.
For example, if you go back to the old way of doing things, people kept the intestines of the cows and the pigs, and either the pigs in particular, they made sausage out of it.
Oh yeah, tripe sausage, good stuff.
No,
not for you.
Not for me. They have an artificial.
He's not an organ guy. I'm usually not either. Not usually.
They have an artificial skin that they use to make sausages.
Mm-hmm.
And I was never into sausage. I was never into tripe. I was never into the organs of a cow or pig. Now, some people may know this, that the word for humble is soil. The word for umble, which they confuse, means the organs of an animal, whether it's a deer or whether it's a cow, such as the kidneys, the heart, and other parts internally that are ground up and made into a pie. During the Middle Ages, that was given to the servants, the serfs. The kings ate the meat. So when we got down to the modern times, most of these organs are sent off to slaughtering houses, and they do various things with them. Sometimes the cheapest food that you can get is from these internal organs.
It's a professional review from a professional butcher. I should have had you in a video a long time ago. Now, let's see if you can give a professional score.
Now, I don't know how to give a score.
Okay.
To something like this.
0 through 10. Decimal points are okay if you want to go x.2, x.3, whatever. You don't have to just give a round number, 0 through 10. And I know what you mean because you have no frame of reference because you haven't tried oxtail before. How would you compare it to other jerk food or maybe even on a broader spectrum, even other barbecue? Or your personal enjoyment of it as a whole?
Well, keep in mind that when I had the oxtail soup, I took a couple tablespoons and that was it.
You did try a little bit of the oxtail soup. Okay, you didn't push it away completely.
Right, but the thought of, it was a psychological, it was like,
Is that thought still in your head now as you're eating this?
to some degree, yes.
Less so, maybe? Is this better than the soup?
once you've been on the farm, there's an old saying, how you gonna, once a boy or girl been on the farm,
It's part of you forever.
it's part of you forever.
Any thoughts of a score on this at all? I kind of know where I'm at because I really like the Jerk Shack.
Well,
I've eaten here before.
I understand that, and I understand that what they make, with whatever they make it with, is probably seasoned the Jamaican way and is probably very tasty. But
So part of it's a matter of whether or not you like the seasoning too.
the seasoning is good.
I think
not
so.
Not bad. The only problem I'm having is my past. It's like an old war memory, and as I'm eating this, I'm still thinking about that cow, that tail, and
So where does that put you for the score? And I did get some of the jerk chicken too, just for, I don't even know if we're gonna try that. He's not a really spicy fan, and it does have a good kick to it.
if you notice that this
You want to
tail,
try a little bit of the chicken too?
yeah, this tail. Let's just put this on the side for a minute. This tail has all the various
Vertebrae.
That's the word I was looking for. All this fat-like and
It's not a muscle. It's like substance or the membrane around the vertebrae or whatever you call it. The word's not coming to me. The connective in between type pieces.
connective tissue and so on. And it's not my favorite part of eating anything, but that's the way mammals are made.
Sure.
But as I said, when we began, if we were in the middle of a wilderness, yeah, this would be fine.
What are you scoring it?
Oh, I would only I'd give it a 6 or 7.
Well, a 6 or a 7 is not a score.
Okay, 7.
Around 7, or is it a 7 point, a 6
No.
point, 7 point?
Around 7. And it's only because it's mixed in with a cultural dish that makes it taste good. But
If it was more of a quote unquote hunky style preparation, it might be more up your alley, perhaps.
well, I don't know, because back years ago in ethnic Youngstown,
Try the chicken.
with the various cultures, the chicken is good.
I'll be honest with you, I like the chicken better than the oxtail.
So do I.
I really do. It's not that the oxtail is bad. It's just,
Hand me that napkin, please.
I don't know, would you say I don't know if this is a correct statement or not. Chicken's more versatile? Maybe?
Well, it depends on what kind of cook you are.
Yeah, I guess so.
Mean,
I don't know.
look in a cookbook. I mean, how many dishes can you come up with? I just don't think that, and I ate a lot of pork growing up.
The oxtail is kind of a specialty thing. You got to be in the mood for it. I can eat chicken every single day.
So could I. Growing up in Youngstown, it was chicken, it was pork, it was beef. But I've been served a lot of different dishes from both ends of the animal, like pig, ham, forward ham.
Is the chicken too spicy for you?
No.
You got a little linger in there? A little kick?
Forward the shoulder ham of a pig, the rump.
What do you give the chicken?
But when you go over to the cow, I would give that a 7 or 8. I'd give that an 8, in fact.
An 8, around 8?
Yeah, round 8. I just deal in round numbers. But I have never been...
Kind of a rookie move, but that's okay.
That's okay. In all my life, I've never had anything put in front of me on a plate that says, "Oh, eat up, enjoy." It's the tail of the cow. And when I had that soup that day, it was just a psychological response, as it is now. Food and psychology, food and emotion go hand in hand.
This is a hell of a professional review.
And I cannot deal with the organs of an mammal, or some of the external parts that are used.
I shouldn't have introduced him as Dad. For future reviews, if you ever show up again, Dr. Food is my special guest. I mean, we've got the whole breakdown. Oxtail, I'm going to go...
And I don't know why they call it oxtail. It's a cow tail. They
That's-
should call it bovine tail.
Well, that doesn't sound as appealing.
Well, whatever.
Oxtail, 7.8. Chicken, the jerk chicken, 8.4. Those are my scores.
Okay.
Both absolutely fantastic. They're really great. Oxtail is more of a specialty thing, not something that I could see myself being in the mood for every day. But I could eat that chicken almost every day, depending on how much spice you want
And
in your meal at the time.
If somebody had me over for dinner, and they probably wouldn't now, and I would eat this, and I'd say, "Oh, that's good."
Rice is good too. Did you try the rice
Yes,
and
I
the
did.
vegetables? Excellent.
If my mother had sent me to school with this, with a cow tail, box tail in my lunch bag, I probably would have left it there in the trash can or brought it back home.
Did your mother, my grandmother, ever use oxtail or beef tail, cow tail?
No.
My grandmother was one of the best cooks in the world.
She was.
And but I don't remember you ever mentioning a recipe involving this end of the animal.
She had a culinary experience in Slovak food, Eastern European, Italian. My dad was, and she learned from my grandmother, and also as a house girl during the Great Depression.
Jewish cuisine.
She learned the Jewish cuisine, and we had a neighbor who was Asian, so she learned some Asian food. So
but she never made oxtail.
Never. So we had whenever we had a special dinner, the bill fare was international.
Nice.
Minus any reference to a bovine or cow.
And you wonder where he got all this knowledge from. Between this, working on the farm, slaughtering.
Living a long time.
There you go. That's been a review. It's been another episode of First Bite. Great review. Jamaican Jerk Shack. Try this place for Dad, a.k.a. Dr. Food. That's been Dan.
But if you go there and if you eat the bovine tail, if you eat that end of the cow, oxtail, well, all I can say is it's okay. You know, as long as you have the psychological bent to go with it. I never got over my
hands in front of your face.
I never got rid of my inhibitions. So sorry to say, but if you do order it and if you do eat it, enjoy.
We're gone. Deuces. It's been another episode of First Bite.